Look, I have tried over and over again to give this Toronto Maple Leafs team the benefit of the doubt. I push back always on, oh, you know what, just too much talent. You signed too many good players and you need to spread that wealth out. I hate that could be a way that we talk about team building. And so because of that, I have given this team the benefit of the doubt time after time after time. Even I can't at this point. How do you come out with such an embarrassing performance, such a lifeless performance in that type of a situation? Abysmal, pathetic showing from the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are now on the brink of elimination and honestly should just be bounced from the playoffs for how poorly they played. A horrendous performance from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And like I said, I have given them the benefit of the doubt so many times. I don't know how you can. At this point, you just sound insane. If you're, oh, well, no, you know what, it's just one game. Because it's not. And maybe it is unfair to hold 2013 against these guys, but this era, the Core 4 era, there is at least one game like this every playoff, and sometimes it's just a full series like this. And to come out where you have a chance to put all of that behind you, people are not saying Stanley Cup or bust behind this team. Just look like a good hockey team in the playoffs. That's all people want. And to still not even reach that bar is shocking. Again, you have a chance to put all this behind you. If they go out and take a 3-2 lead against the Florida Panthers, if they eventually lose this series, people will have jokes. But if you take a 3-2 lead against the Panthers and then, heaven forbid, actually beat them, I think a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals really quiets a lot of that noise down around this team. Instead, they put up that. And so because of that, every question is going to be there and all of it is going to be valid. Horrendous, embarrassing, pathetic showing from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Again, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how, like, that is them and the Jets. That is about as worse or as bad as any team has looked so far in this postseason to play that type of a thing. And so I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a lot of different coaches. It is a lot of different pieces here and there. It is the main guys at the top. And you don't want to put this all on them because basically the whole team sucked in that game. But still, these are the guys who are still around from a lot of this. And so for it to look so familiar, I don't know what, at this point, I don't know what the defense is. Oh, no, trust me, it'll be fine. We've seen this before. They'll bounce back from this sort of a thing. Because they don't. They look like this all the time. And it's these guys. Like, how can they be so bad when you have this much talent? Well, they figure out a way. And they did again. The Panthers, I don't even think the Panthers played that great. They just dummied them. Absolutely embarrassing. Now, I will say, in terms of the coaching aspect of this, I do think Berbube made an excellent point and made a very strong point of not blaming just the core four, because I do think that is where things have happened in the past. I do think under Babcock and Keefe that this would have been a time where, and look, everyone's going to be talking about it anyway, but for Berbube to not come out and blame those guys, I do think, like I said, that the previous regimes would have said, yeah, you know what? Need our best guys to be our best guys. That's all we need. And look, you probably do. If we're being honest, that is where it starts. But at least the coach isn't throwing those guys under the bus because they don't really respond to that. But I mean, they don't really respond to anything when you look at this. Like, this is, I kind of figured, regardless of how this series went, that Tavares and Marner would just be around as this whole thing went on, as their free agency starts now at the end of the end of the series, and they're free to go wherever they want July 1st. I kind of figured that we'll have some drama around it, but ultimately those guys will stay. I don't know now. And I think that's from a Toronto standpoint. And again, it's not to blame Marner, it's certainly not to blame Tavares or anything like that, but how can you keep running this back? How can you keep doing this thing and thinking you can be successful when nights like last night are even possible? So this is a loss that is so bad that it could genuinely change the direction of where this franchise goes moving forward. I don't think they're going to do a full teardown, but I am now at the point where I would assume Marner isn't going to be around. And before, I thought that might have been a Marner decision. Now it might be mutual, just to try to change something up with that team. So, holy smokes, just an otherworldly pathetic showing from the Toronto Maple Leafs in Game 5 against the Florida Panthers.